Production for Panther Sports Talk is brought to you in part by the following supporters of WEIU.
Welcome to another edition of Panther Sports Talk. Time change here is edition of Panther Sports Talk, and I'm dressed in a hoodie, and part of it is going to be based on the weather. And Coach, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. At Cookeville the other day when you guys beat Tennessee Tech, the cold front came in. I woke up, snow on the windshield of my car, which I'm not quite ready for yet. I was expecting it maybe in
early for that.
East Central Illinois, but I guess how does weather play an effect in something like that? It got a little bit cold here in Illinois, so you guys at least got a taste of it. It sounded like in Cookeville, it just rolled in maybe the day before, so that caught everybody off guard.
They were pretty surprised. I know that because their coaches were saying, well, it was nice out here all weekend. But, we practiced. We actually had a walkthrough on Friday morning before we left, and it was cold here. And so I basically told the kids, look, this is how it's going to be, so get ready. But, I thought they handled it well. Our focus was good. I don't think it was anything that played much of a factor. And it actually warmed up during the game, so it really wasn't that big a deal.
Now, when you talk about weather, the weather has turned here in Illinois, and you'll get some nice days and some not so nice days like the one out there today. How does that, I guess, affect your prep? It's got to affect your preparations, I guess, more so than the actual game.
Well, it does. Obviously, today we're going to have to practice. Rain or shine, we've got to practice, and we've got a certain amount of time that we have to do that around classes and study halls and all that stuff. So, we're going to practice, and as long as it's not lightning or if it's not, just so much of a torrential downpour that you can't get anything done, we'll be fine. But it does affect your practice time a little bit.
Now, in the game the other day, I guess weather affects maybe how offenses run as the season goes along. Windy days and cold days, you would think is not really pass intuitive. It becomes more run oriented. And I guess with a balanced offense, that's got to be something that you guys like, knowing you can do either and play in either type of element.
Well, that's something that from my experience, over the years, and being around good offensive teams that went deep, you had to be able to do both. And so that was something that we set to do here from the beginning, is have a very balanced attack where we feel like that we can run the football, we can throw the football, and we also have the ability to run that 11th guy, that quarterback. And so what it does is I think it puts the maximum amount of pressure on a defense if you can do all three of those things. And so that's how we tried to design this thing from the beginning. And as you're seeing right now, with Jalen being able to run the ball, getting all three of the running backs involved, getting our receivers and everybody involved in the passing game, and being able to put up the numbers that we've been able to do, I feel good about the fact that when we hit the inclement weather, that we'll be able to continue to run the football and hopefully throw it somewhat efficiently. But I would much rather be our style of offense looking at the next month, as opposed to if we, just felt like the only thing we could do was throw it and not be able to run the ball. And so that's something that we basically did by design.
Now, you rushed for over 300 yards the other day, and the question I'm going to ask about the surprise guy on the chart, Nick Bruno, comes around the end, a fake punt 63 yards. I guess my first question is, was it a breakdown and he kind of made the call to run for the first down, or was at a fake punt all the way?
No.
And then I don't think he had any idea that he was that open, and he just kind of ran out of gas.
Nobody did. Before the play started, some of the coaches in the press box said, well, if they're lined up like that, they can't, he might run it. Yeah. There was only one guy that lined up on the guard on that half of the field, other than the corner that was on our receiver, or on our gunner. So the gunner leaves, the guard releases, and that takes that guy with him. There's nobody else on that half of the field. So he's been coached that if we have the edge and it's a manageable fourth down, and you feel like that, you can get it, go get it. I didn't know he was going to go for 63. I'll be honest with you, I was the most surprised guy in the stadium that he was running. Yeah. But it was something that, because we rugby punt, and because it's something that we've talked to him about and coached it, and he just did what he was coached to do. And the fact that it happened to be in the fourth quarter in somewhat of a blowout, I really, to be honest with you, wish it would have been a better time. But if somebody lines up and doesn't defend something, and it's not like I'm going to say, hey, don't take advantage of it. Yeah. So we just did that. And then, I thought the only thing that I thought about doing was maybe going for it on fourth down there. And then I thought, well, let's just kick a field goal. It's not that big a deal. And plus he ran it down there. So, but no, I was surprised as anybody when it came to the fact that he was running down the sideline.
Now, you guys had a good balanced effort. You take his 63 yards out, and it was a good effort by everybody across the board. Yeah. Shepard Little just short of 100 yards. Taylor Duncan had, I think, 70, 75. And Jalen was in 40, and that I know you would like him to do well, but in those type of games, that's probably a good number for him because he got 40 probably based on what was there and not trying to force things.
That's the thing. It's a read game. If they want to hand it, if they want to give us the running backs, we're going to take the running backs. If they want to give us the quarterback like they did before, like against Jacksonville State, they had given them the quarterback most of the time. So we just try to take what the defense gives us in the run in those run games. Now we have some called runs and things like that, but for the most part, the plays that we run are not designed to specifically have one guy do all or one position even. The things that we want to do is we want to take what the defense gives us. So if they're going to close and take the quarterback, we're going to hand the ball to our running backs and let them run. And I thought Shep and TD and even A.J. Woodson came in and got a couple of carries. And I thought TD ran as well as he's run all year. I thought he really did a good job. He's got such a knack of being able to see and run in the zone schemes and all that. And then he got out on the edge, caught a long pass on the wheel route. So he had a really good day. And I thought, to be honest with you, I think Jalen probably had his most efficient and best day as far as playing the quarterback position, making the proper reads, and getting the ball where it needed to go, even though he did throw the one interception. I'll take one interception for every 163 attempts.
And 163, that is the number he sets the individual school record for passes without an interception. And he hadn't thrown one in so long and in so many games that it kind of, I guess, caught everybody off guard.
Yeah, it did me. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from?
But one of the things you guys did do, and it ended up not being a factor. I know since you got the win and the big win, it's going to be a point of emphasis in practice this weekend, is you turned it over 4 times. One of them probably shouldn't have been called. I looked at the replay. Jim Jackson was right there with me. Jalen was down when he fumbled it near the goal line.
He was.
But that becomes, I guess, little things like that as a coach when you have a big win. Those are things I guess you look for to kind of use as bullet points to keep the kids motivated.
Well, there's no question. We cannot turn the football over. We just can't. That and play the way we want to play. We have gotten beat in the past games. In the first 6 games, we had games where we had turnovers and we got beat, and so we had to learn. And I thought, and we went 2 games without one, and then to go in and have a 4 turnover game was disappointing, to be quite honest with you. And then it's something that. It's a great credit to our defense, though, that we can have a 4 turnover game in the conference and win 41-10 in the fact that of those 4 turnovers that they got, I believe they scored 3 points. And so great testament to what our defense did going out and put the fire out.
Now, you talk about the defense. They've really played lights out. The last 3 games allowed just 2 touchdowns over the last 2 quarters, and I think both of them have ended up being really on short fields based on short punt or a different opportunity, something like that. So credit to them in that they've kind of, I guess, maybe figured out this scheme that you guys brought in this year and are really playing well in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like anything. It's just like our quarterback position or anything else. When you get a defense that starts to play as a unit and understands not only the puzzle, but where they fit in the puzzle and where we try to make the ball go and the person who's supposed to make the tackle and all that kind of stuff. But here's the biggest thing is they're having fun doing it, and they are flying to the football. The effort that you're watching our defense play with right now is really fun to watch. I can't say enough about Kane Womack and his staff and the job that they're doing right now. We have to continue to do that. We've got a heck of a challenge coming in here this week. Probably the most explosive offense, maybe in the conference, is when it comes to the passing game. And so this is going to be a heck of a challenge with Chris Hatcher and the Murray State offense coming in this week.
Now, we'll talk about them in just a second, but one of the things that I want to give credit to the defense there is some of the names that we've called during the course of the season you didn't even see on the stat sheet the other day, and I think that was a big credit to the defense. I don't remember ever calling Jordan Whitcliffe's name or Apono Choi, and other than on pass breakups, your corners really weren't a factor. So really the guys up front were getting the job done and really applying good pressure all day.
The D-line and the linebacker, especially a guy like Camus, comes in. I mean, 19 tackles, 4 for a loss, an interception, and a caused fumble. That's a pretty good day. That's why he's OVC Player of the Week. And but it's like, like you said, that front group really controlled the game, and it allows our back end to not have to make every play because the ball's breaking through and all that. And so when you're not giving up a lot of yards, that's why, is because those guys are playing so well, getting off blocks, making plays, being where they're supposed to be. And so, they didn't really attack our corners that much, to be honest with you. They were basically a quarterback, tailback, run-oriented offense. And so that's the way it works out. But, this week, our corners and our safeties and our Husky and our linebacker, our underneath coverage people and all that, they're going to be challenged to the max. And we've got to continue to get better up front. We've got to the one thing that I feel like that we've got to get better at defensively is we've got to be able to put more pressure on the passer in a 4-man pass rush. Other than that, we're really starting to come.
Now, one of these things I know you've talked about in your defensive experience, one of the reasons you like this type of defense is it's built to some of these spread teams that Murray has. So I guess this will be a good matchup for fans to kind of see how those two kind of, I guess, play off of each other, their offense and how it's the way football is going, and your defense in terms of how it's now being laid out there to defend against these type of offenses.
It is, and that's, that when we really don't even we have it, we could actually put it in, but we really don't have a true big defense right now because we don't need it. Everybody that we see is 3 and 4 wides and all that, and other than some people that try to do run line up and run it, but even the run game stuff is a lot of read stuff and all that. So it's going to be a good matchup. I'm anxious to see how our corners, safeties, perimeter players, and our linebackers being able to run. I mean, our defense. I was listening to Coach Brown, and he was talking about how he thought our defense was really fast. Well, that's the way our defense has been constructed and will continue to be because we want to have guys who can run, and because the league and college football in general is now played in the perimeter. So we've got to have guys who can make plays in space, and that's the thing that we've tried to do.
All right, Coach, best of luck there this week. The Panthers and the Racers, 12 noon out there at O'Brien Field. The way we moved it up earlier, Coach. You may not like the earlier start, but at the end of the day, when the sun goes down behind O'Brien at 4:30 and you're already done, you'll be very thankful that we played the whole game with the sun out.
Absolutely.
We did that a couple of years ago. Noon will be out there. You can see the game right here on WIU, also on the Panther Football Radio Network. Listen to the game. We're going to wrap up this week's show with an interview with Jalen Whitlow, the new quarterback that we've talked about and been raving on the last couple weeks. People will be able to kind of hear how he's coming here and how Greg Stevens has helped him kind of mature and run this offense. But that'll be right after this week in EIU Athletics. We'll be right back.
Whitlow looks to run to his left side, dodge one man at the 10, cuts back at the 5, he goes over. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois. A lot of time, throws it right flat, hits Duncan at the 5, gets the first down, goes for the goal line. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
Eastern Illinois Panther football is on WEIU. OVC rivals meet as the Panthers of Eastern Illinois welcome the Racers of Murray State to O'Brien Field. It's the Panthers and Racers Saturday at 12 on WEIU, your home for Panther football.
Panther fans, here's what's going on in Panther athletics. Panther football won their third straight game with a 41-10 victory at Tennessee Tech. The Panthers are now 4-5 on the season and 4-1 in OVC play. Volleyball went 1-1 on this past weekend at Lance Arena in OVC matches. EIU lost to SEMO 3-2 and followed that up with a sweep of UT Martin 3-0. EIU is now 11-14 overall and 5-7 in OVC play. Men's soccer dropped a non-conference match at Northern Kentucky last week. The Panthers are now 3-11-1 overall and 1-3-1 in Summit League play. On Tuesday of this week, EIU hosted SIU Edwardsville at Lakeside Field. For the result and stats of that match, check out EIUPanthers.com. Cross country was in Oxford, Alabama for the OVC Cross Country Championships this past weekend. The women's team placed second overall, with Emily Brailsford being the top women's finisher for EIU in ninth place. Brailsford, Victoria Quarton, and Maria Baldwin all earned second team All-OVC honors. Baldwin was named OVC Female Freshman Runner of the Year. The men's team finished fifth overall, with Riley McInerney, the men's finisher for EIU, in 15th place. Women's golf completed fall competition, placing 15th out of 15 teams at the Evansville Fall Intercollegiate. Now, here's what to watch for this week. On Friday, volleyball continues their homestand at Lance Arena as they square off with OVC rival Eastern Kentucky at 6 p.m. Both swimming teams are back in action at Padovan Pool in Lance Arena against Ball State at 6 p.m. On Saturday, Panther football brings their 3-game winning streak to O'Brien Field as they battle OVC rival Murray State at 12 noon. You can watch the game on WEIU TV, or you can listen to it on Hitnix 88.9 WEIU. Women's rugby is in South Bend, Indiana to compete against Notre Dame at 2:30. Volleyball with their regular season home finale as they host OVC rival Morehead State at 5 p.m. And men's soccer with their regular season finale at Summit League rival Oral Roberts at 7 p.m. On Monday, men's basketball with an exhibition game at Lance Arena against St. Francis, Illinois at 7 p.m. And next Tuesday, November 11th, volleyball is in Edwardsville to face off with OVC rival SIUE at 6 p.m. Reporting for Panther Sports Talk, I'm Brad Kupiak.
21-6 Illinois State. Easton on the drive at the start of the third period. Fake handoff. Whitlow on the keeper. Cuts inside 10, 5. Touchdown, Jalen Whitlow. He turned on a burst after he faked that handoff to Duncan and raced through the middle for the touchdown.
Eastern Illinois football has a brand new offense this year, and it's led by transfer quarterback Jalen Whitlow. Whitlow transferred to EIU this summer from the University of Kentucky, and he's been making the most of his opportunities ever since.
It's been, I guess, a bit of a journey, but I don't know. I mean, it's a long process, you know, getting transferred over and, learning new people, new things, new offense, getting in school over here, through the summer. Well, it's been going good though.
There you go! There you go!
It was fun. Camp was fun. It was long. Hot, but it was fun too. We competed. I had to learn on the fly, but it was a good experience.
It's always good to have competition. I think it makes guys better. And early in the season, we was just hoping, one of those two guys would take it and run away with it, and they really didn't do that. And we felt like with the players we had and stuff that Jalen gave us the best chance to win, and so we kind of went with him. We knew that we couldn't keep, switching back and forth. They're both very talented and both hard workers, great kids. They get along real well, and they've both been a pleasure to coach.
It is what it was what it was. Whenever my time was called, I just went in and tried to handle my business and help the team win. But it wasn't the first time I did it, so it wasn't too bad. One day, Coach Stevens just, he called me. I didn't know who it was. I answered the phone. I was sitting in the living room in my apartment, and I answered the phone, and he said he was from East Illinois. I was a coordinator. He left Southeastern Louisiana and all this stuff. He was talking about, how offense and, what he had last year and, what he's looking to do here. And, ended up talking to him later on, I think that week or later on, a couple of days later, and we ended up setting up a visit. And, I took my visit here, and pretty good.
He had a lot of different options and stuff, so we had to recruit him hard, and we spent a lot of time trying to get him here, and got him and his family up here on a visit, and got him to come. So we were very excited to get him here.
A lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff that played into it with the offense, and just coming in. We wanted to play right away. If I would have had to go, if I would have went to a single A school, I would have had to sit out a year. But that was a big factor. That was pretty much a huge factor with my decision. So yeah, I'm glad I made the decision. When he first called me, he said Eastern Illinois. I was like, wait a minute. I've been watching the stuff leading up to the draft. I was like, hold on now. They just had a quarterback. Who's getting drafted. So as soon as I got off the phone with him, I sprinted to my room and did my research. But it was crazy, like, 'cause the day I left Kentucky to take my visit, we were watching the draft, and we found out that he got drafted in the second round. And, you know, and that was crazy. You know, then we got here. You know, everybody was happy about it. You can tell. I mean, it was just, you know, it's a small community. So, you know, when a player here at a smaller school, you know, get drafted so high, you know, definitely at the quarterback position, you know, it's big. So, you know, and having Tony Romo from here too, you know, that was huge for a school, you know, the town. So yeah, that was huge.
The loaded backfield with 3 running backs surrounding Whitlow in the shotgun. Here's the fake handoff to Duncan. Whitlow keeps up the middle, pops through at the 50, 45, 40, splits defenders at the 30, still going, 20, touchback down to the 15. Terrific run by Jalen Whitlow, and it'll be first down and deep in EKU territory.
What a dual threat that young man is.
Tennessee State may be offsides. Whitlow back to pass, throwing it deep, right side for Drake. He's got it, and a touchdown for Eastern Illinois.
I think you always have to do that. You know, your offense is going to change depending on who you have, you know, at certain positions and stuff, and especially at quarterback. You know, when Jalen's in there as opposed to Andrew, you know, some of them, they do different things good, and so you got to tailor a little bit the offense is when they're in there. They throw different routes better. Some throw certain routes better than others, and so, you know, when Andrew's in there, we'll definitely, for the most part, call different plays than what we would if, you know, Jalen was in the game. He's like most quarterbacks, you know, they'd rather throw the football, and they probably wish he could throw it every snap. You know, and a lot of people think he's different than a lot of athletic quarterbacks in that, I think, you know, Jalen believes he's a passer more than a runner and stuff, and you know, he's like most quarterbacks. You know, they'd much rather throw a touchdown, I think, than run one.
I'm me. I mean, it's hard to, like, you know, throw out a name of somebody I'm like, but I feel like, I mean, of course, I'm a dual threat guy, but you know, I'd rather throw a touchdown any day than run one, to be honest with you. But I can't. It's hard to, like, throw out a name that I can, you know, try to compare myself to. But I watch a lot of quarterbacks, you know, Peyton Manning, Russell Wilson, you know, a lot of the guys, you know, I would love to be in their position. So I watch what they do and, you know, try to pick up things and add to my game.
Here's Jalen Whitlow out of the shotgun. 2nd and 9. Fake handoff. Whitlow on a keep. Around the right side, 35. Breaks open 40. Jalen at the 50. Then a foot race at the 40. He may go. Whitlow at the 20. At the 10. He's in. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
The biggest thing is, you know, making sure he understands the game plan every week and knows what plays we're going to call in what situations, and, you know, what he can see from the defense we're going up against. And then, you know, just working on technique things, fundamental things to improve and get better. The one thing he's done, you know, early on, you know, we threw some interceptions and turned the ball over. He's really taking care of the ball. Coach Damon was telling me this week that he's breaking records as far as, like, throwing the most passes without an interception and stuff, and hopefully that will continue. You know, he's taking care of the football and making good decisions, and you know, giving us a chance to win. And then he's made some big plays in the run game, you know, as well the last couple of weeks.
Just all-around game. You know, if I get better, you know, at everything, you know, that I can do, the team will be better, you know, and the offense will be better, and we can, you know, try to put up more points. So just pretty much everything, really. You know, it's always fun, you know, winning games, and you know, I mean, I appreciate the, you know, the weekly award or whatever, the newcomer awards I had, you know, but you know, if you can throw those awards out the window, I'd rather win every game, you know, instead of, you know, winning an award. So, you know, that's all fine and dandy, but, you know, I'm all about, you know, the W at the end of the day.
Reporting for Panther Sports Talk, I'm Brad Kupiak.
Boy, baby, let's go.
Whitlow rolling left, looking into the end zone, now rolling hard, now still looking, now dumps to the back corner of the end zone, is caught, a touchdown in the back corner. A leaping catch by Joe Powell, and the Panthers take the lead. Whitlow up into the center on 3rd and goal from the 3. Here's Whitlow, 2-step drop, doing the fade, right corner for Drake, he's got it, touchdown Eastern Illinois. Shades of Garoppolo to Laura. This time it's Whitlow to Drake for the fade and the touchdown in the right corner of the end zone. Here's Whitlow, fake handoff, back to pass. Gonna throw it deep, right sideline. Single coverage. Drake's got it. Breaks away at the 50. Adam Drake will go all the way. It's a 90-yard touchdown pass. Whitlow to Drake for the second time today. Whitlow calling the signal. There's the snap. He's back. Has a lot of time. Throwing it right side into a crowd. Drake's got it. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois. Third touchdown catch of the day for Adam Drake. Here's Stone. Will hand to Van Leer. Sweeping left behind the line. Ball's loose. It's on the ground, and Panthers have recovered. Vince Speller up with the ball to the 28-yard line. He's back. Three-man rush. Stone steps up. Throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted by Grugier Hill, and he holds on. It'll be a touchback.
Production for Panther Sports Talk is brought to you in part by the following supporters of WEIU.